So this right here is the DJI Action 5 Pro, and this is the Insta360 X4. If you're looking to buy an action camera in 2025, these are your two best options, at least in my opinion. And this video is going to help you make a decision between the two.
Let's start with a tour. The Insta360 camera is larger and heavier with protruding camera lenses. These generally make the Insta360 X4 more vulnerable to damage, but both cameras have removable lens covers. This means that in the event they do get scratched, you can just replace them. The rest of the build quality is about the same, feeling very robust, and you will find these rubber gaskets when opening the doors because both cameras are waterproof. In these compartments, we will find the removable battery and the micro SD card. By the way, the battery life on both cameras is really good, and there's also a USB-C port on both cameras for direct charging and data transfer. Much like with the hardware, the software is almost identical between the two cameras. Swiping down from the top, you get the menu. Swiping up from the bottom is the resolution, frame rates. Swiping in from the left is your footage, and in from the right is more camera settings. Where we finally get into the differences is with the shooting modes. On the Action 5, the most notable mode here is night mode, which does a pretty decent job in enhancing night footage. But on the X4, we have both single and 360 shooting modes. When in single lens mode, this is just a regular action camera. You can choose between the front, the back camera, or you can even use half of each lens to get a view straight below the camera. This is called the Me mode, and we're going to talk more about this in a second.
Okay, this is both a video and audio test of the DJI Action 5 4K 30 FPS fully automatic video settings. On this camera, they're using a 1/1.3 inch image sensor. And now this is the same test, but on the Insta360 X4. The image sensor here is a little bit smaller at 1/2 or a ½ inch image sensor. So in terms of the raw image quality, to me, the DJI camera was better. When you look at things like the shadows, I just saw more detail. And when you get into low lighting, this difference becomes even more noticeable. But where things get more interesting is when we pivot to the versatility of these cameras. So on top of doing the job competently of a regular action camera, the X4 also has a whole second camera enabling 360-degree video capture. The application that I find this feature most useful is when trying to capture that third-person view of yourself doing some activity. In my opinion, this camera is made to be on the end of a selfie stick. When you do this, you can dynamically move the camera around and capture fantastic shots without really thinking too much about it. So now I have you guys on a selfie stick, and this is a very convenient, easy, effective way to film yourself while you're doing something else. I don't have to mess with the camera, adjust the angles, none of it. I can just put the camera anywhere I want, and it's gonna capture everything. So hop on my bike here. Again, I'm just holding the selfie stick. I'm not really thinking too much about it. Let's try to get some footage here. So I'll put you guys kind of in front of me by the front wheel. I can even throw you over my shoulder. This is a very easy way to hold the camera. I can drop you down a little bit. And this is going on behind me. I'm not even looking at the camera. And these are the shots I'm able to capture. This is simply not possible with a traditional action camera. And what I mean by that, of course, you can put an action camera on a selfie stick, but you have to really think about the framing and constantly adjust the tilt especially. That's something I noticed trying to do that in the past. With a traditional action camera, every time I change the height like this, I would have to stop, pull in the camera, and adjust the angle of it on the end of the selfie stick before I can resume my shooting. But with this, there are no said adjustments. Of course, the trade-off is in post, you have to do all of the adjustments. Okay, I switched over to the Me mode. This is technically a single lens shooting mode, meaning that it's a normal video file. No need to do any post-processing. And what this does is use half of each lens to look directly below the camera. So the middle of the frame is always going to be the selfie stick, the thing that you're holding. So of course that's less dynamic than the 360 video, but when I ride my bike here and I do the same kind of basic camera movements, it should be pretty similar. Again, I don't have to think much about the framing. In fact, not really thinking about the framing at all. I'm just riding my bike. But this time, there's a whole lot less work and editing I have to do when I get home.
So these two cameras are easily my favorite and top choices for action cameras in 2025. I think personally, if I could only buy one of these, I would go with the Insta360 X4. While the image quality on the DJI is better, especially in more challenging lighting conditions, I think the extra versatility of the second lens more than makes up for this difference. But there's still many reasons why you may prefer the Action 5, especially when you remember the ecosystem of other DJI products like their wireless microphone system. These mics do connect to the X4 as well over Bluetooth, but I noticed that the connection and just the overall cohesion is better on the DJI camera. I am really excited for the day that DJI finally makes their own 360 camera, as I think that may be the ultimate product once it eventually comes out. But for now, I'll leave Amazon affiliate links to these products below the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed.